Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Crochet ADHD, Crow for crochet, 80s because everything here comes with a little hint of an 80s twist, and ADHD, or the HD because I have ADHD. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you what everybody's been kind of doing lately with the whole Hobby Lobby summer clearance. And I've been a few times, so I just wanted to show you what I got on my latest haul, which was this afternoon. Today is July 1st. So yeah, anyway, I didn't get a whole lot because, one, I'm actually trying to be more purposeful with the yarns that I purchase, and I'm going to be doing some test crochets and knits over the next few months. So that was kind of what I had in mind when I went shopping today. And again, I'm trying not to buy too much. I actually donated a whole lot of yarn because, as someone said on Instagram, I wish I could remember who it was, but life is too short to crochet with ugly yarn, or to crochet with cheap yarn. One of the two, I don't know. Cheap as in cheap, not cheap as in inexpensive, because, well, anybody that's been to the Hobby Lobby sale this week or this month or however long it's been knows that you can get really good yarn at a really good price. So anyway, this first one I got is the Soft and Sleek DK in the color Dijon. I actually have, this is my third ball, but it is a number 3 weight, and it's really soft. It is 100% acrylic, but it's a low pill acrylic, and it feels really, really good. It's 478 yards or 437 meters. So, and again, I got 3 of these, so that's plenty to crochet a top with, or like a shawl, which shawls are like my favorite thing. They're like my comfort crochet, or even my comfort project, because I've crocheted some, I have Tunisian crocheted some, and I am starting to knit some shawls. So they just bring me comfort, even if I don't wear shawls a lot. When the pandemic started and everything was shut down, I was missing my friends, and I kind of made this project in my head. I was gonna just crochet shawls to give to my friends as my way of giving them hugs when we weren't able to hug, and I'm still kind of going with that. So like everybody that I can think of, or when I'm thinking of them, I will crochet them a shawl, and since that's my comfort project, it kind of works out just nicely. So anyway, so yeah, I got the Soft and Sleek, and then let's see, I got Katarina Tangotopia. Can you see that? Okay. And it's really pretty. I actually got 4 skeins, and each one, even though they are the same colors, they don't necessarily look like, I don't know, it's interesting. See, like the inside, I mean, yeah, you can tell that they're related, but they don't necessarily look like twins. Okay, now this one I think looks like it's the most, okay, it might just be me and I'm a crazy person, but either way, these are really pretty. And the specs on here, 295 yards, 3.5 ounces. It is a 3 weight DK. I'm pretty sure that's right. DK is 3 weight. Yeah. And 90% acrylic and 10% nylon. And again, it's really soft. And I kind of picture this as a shawl because, you know, let me look at it. But what else was I going to say? I was going to say something. It's really soft, and it was only 99 cents. So I got 4, which were the last 4 that they had. And also, when I went shopping, I was keeping in mind some things that some other YouTubers had said, like Cinnamon Stitches. She had like this whole, almost like a, I'm going to say coming to Jesus kind of moment when it comes to buying clearance yarn. But, you know, don't buy it simply because it's on sale or because it's cheap, because then you'll end up with a bunch of yarn that 6 months, a year from now, you might not like at all. And then, you know, you saved money when you bought it, sure, but you're not really saving money. And also, you want to leave some for the person behind that comes after you, because then you're just being mean and greedy and hoardery. And again, as a fiber artist, we all have a stash, and there's no shame in a stash, no matter the size. But when you're doing it, again, just for the sake of buying it, and you know that it's not even yarn that you would ever use, then it really is a waste of money, and it's not very nice. So that again, for me, it was a come to Jesus moment. So with that in mind, they only had 4 of these left. So, and the sale started, I want to say mid-June, maybe the second week of June. So, and I went today, and I had actually been several times, and the first couple of times I went, I was looking for, I got like some of the hand-dyed yarn, because that was my main focus. So I went in with like a purpose, a goal. I wasn't going to just, because I did see some of the 57-cent cotton yarn, and I walked around with it in my buggy for a while, which is something I tend to do when I shop, because it's like, I like it now, but I got to walk around with it and decide if I like it enough to actually pay for it. And, you know, not in the thrift shop discount kind of way. Anyway, so I lost my train of thought. Anyway, if anybody can remember exactly what I was talking about when I just went off on a tangent there, can you comment? Thank you. Okay, so I got this, which I have never heard of the 44th Street yarn, but I also don't really shop Hobby Lobby. As a matter of fact, the only time I seem to go to Hobby Lobby anymore is when they do their summer clearance. So anyway, but this yarn, 44th Street, again, I purchased some earlier this week. But this color, olive, okay, you can tell this is the last skein, because it really did look like an orphan that had just been completely and totally abandoned. But it is incredibly soft. It's 70% acrylic, 30% polyamide, 540 yards, and it's a number 3. I mean, that is just like so pretty. Yeah. But I'm sad I only got one, that there was only one to get, because I really like this color. And I honestly didn't realize that I liked this color. So I learned something new about myself. And it was $1.07. Okay. Then I got this Must Be Merino. And I have been driving my children crazy, because every time I see the name, I just, Must Be Merino. But anyway, it is 50% merino wool, 25% acrylic, 25% nylon. It is 227 yards, and it is a 3-weight also. 208 meters for those of you who keep up with that kind of thing. This color is silver gray, and this was $1.74. I have noticed that a lot of the colors that I got this time are, aside from the Tangotopia, the colors are kind of muted, which I feel like this might be my color now that I'm at a certain age. I don't know, because what is it, teal? What is the name of that color? Teal, mint green, like my shawl right here, which this was actually Tunisian crochet. I can't get it to go right. Here we go. Tunisian crochet. It is a pattern that I found on the Crochet Crowd, where somebody had actually converted a diagonal dragon wing knitting pattern. They converted it to Tunisian crochet, and I've made actually 3 of them. That is This one was my April calendar. You know what? I'll get back to that in a minute. But anyway, that color, whatever this color is, that used to be like the color that just gave me life. And today, I actually, while I was in Hobby Lobby, I saw this color, and I'm going to show you. It's a piece of this color, but this coral spoke to me, yelled at me, if you will, screamed at me. But again, when it came to the yarn and what I actually want to wear, I guess, close to my body is gray. Okay, so that was that bag. And I have one more bag. And all of this is 44th Street, I think. Just a few different colors. Okay, so again, 540 yards, 500 meters, 70% acrylic, 30% polyamide. I don't know. $1.07. This color is silver gray. And again, it is so soft. It is soft. So very, I'm like impressed with how soft this is. So I got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got 3 of those. And then I got this one in mustard, which it's actually, my husband said it looks more like Dijon than the Dijon does, because if you look at the two next to each other, whoops, see, they're not quite the same. But anyway, again, insanely soft. And for $1.07, yes please, I got 3 in that color. And this is going to fall over me. Okay. And this was the color that I was trying to describe before. It is called Pale Aqua. But this color is, again, it's one of my favorite colors. And I think it looks really, really nice with my skin tone. So normally, I'm always nervous about that kind of thing, but because I plan to make a top out of it, and I have not done much garment crochet. I've just finished up a test. It's a Tunisian crochet top, and that's like the first time I've done something quite like that. And it was nice to get my feet wet in it, but I also got to see like what colors really look good close to me that are made in, in crochet or the Tunisian crochet style. So anyway, so I got 3 of these pale aqua colors. And lastly, I got Shawl. That is so dark. Now, I only got 1 because 1, it was the last one, but also earlier this week, I bought 2 more and realized that the project that I wanted to make actually needed a little bit more than the, say, 540. So this is 1080, and I think I needed like 1,160 yards. So I needed a 3rd skein anyway, which is why I went back and got 3 skeins of the 44th Street in the different colors. So anyway, again, this was the last one. There were plenty of the silver gray left. I think there were a few of the mustard and the pale aqua. There was a few of those left also. And one thing else that I did get that is not yarn, but is still yarn related. This was on clearance too. And their buttons or pins, or I don't know, back in the 80s, we used to put these on our blue jean jackets. Do y'all remember those? I had like Duran Duran, and I had one that said "Cool People Suck," and it was orange. Anyway, but whatever these are called, it says flare pins, but I don't know. Everything old is new again. And it was on clearance for 99 cents. This is actually the second pack that I've purchased because there was only one left, and it looked lonely, y'all. It looked So sad. It was amongst all of these random bits of yarnology items, but it was like it needed to come home with me, especially after it saw all the other yarn related items in my buggy. You understand. Oh, I say buggy. Okay. So I live, okay, okay. So that's my yarn haul. So a little information about me. I am a Gen Xer. I am proud of that fact because born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, best timeline generation ever. Don't fight me. We have the best music. We have the best movies. Proof, have you seen the charts lately? Kate Bush is back on the Billboard charts. Top Gun is in theaters. Come on. Yeah. So anyway, but the reason why I decided to start this channel is because I enjoy watching other fiber artist channels. I tend to watch more knitting than crochet, only because there seems to be, what is the word? The vibe on crochet channels are different than the vibes on knitting channels. And I don't necessarily mean that in a negative way. I just feel like maybe there's not as many crocheters who are like prolific, or they just, I don't know. It's just, it's a different kind of vibe. So, in searching for this, I guess the knitting vibe inside of crochet channels, I haven't found it yet. I do follow many, knitting and crocheting podcasts. And oftentimes I find myself yelling at the TV, because I watch YouTube on TV. But anyway, I find myself staring or yelling at these people because it's like, it's just that, I don't know, there's just something. So I always go off on random tangents about things that don't overly matter, but at the same time, I feel like they might matter to someone like me who loves crocheting, who loves, I say loves the 80s. That's not really right. I love the 80s. Okay. Anyway, and I have been, like, I was officially diagnosed with ADHD. My daughter actually is the one that came up with the idea of the name of my channel, because first I was just kind of like a crafting ADHD, and she said, oh wait, ADHD, like the 80s. And yeah, so, and it works. So what I'm hoping to do is to, again, share my finished objects, share my works in progress, what I might want to work on, what maybe I've seen like a new YouTube channel or just a video that is interesting that y'all might like. And also something that I picked up again from another YouTube channel. So I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm merging many different channels into one. So, and if I will try to make it still unique, but yeah. So anyway, I always I listen to Sirius XM 80s on 8, and every week they always do, like this week in the 80s, from some random year throughout the 80s, and they play like the top 40 countdown. And, my favorite number is 6. So I want to take, again, a random year from maybe even a random week and do the top 6. And then I will look at them and say, okay, yes, this is what the Billboard said were the top 6, but this is Jackie's top 6. And then, we'll see how that goes. And it might change, every podcast, it'll be a different top 6 countdown. So anyway, I hope that is something of interest. And yeah, so what am I working on? You know what? I haven't actually, oh, okay. I take that back. I don't have a picture, but I will put one here. I am making the Folklore Cardigan, which is a knitting pattern. It's free on Lion Brand, and I'm actually making it for my oldest daughter. She is a humongous Taylor Swift fan, but I'm thankful because that's like my first big knitting project, and I have been working on it for, well, okay, I started working on it, I want to say in March or April, and then I put it down because I'm in Louisiana and April is about the latest that you can go with a sweater on your lap without wanting to, kill anybody. So it's currently hibernating, but it's an active hibernation, not like deep hibernation. I plan to pull it back out probably in October. It's made in panels. So I did the back panel, and I've done the front panel, and I think I've done the left front panel, and I'm on the halfway through or 3/4 of the way through on the right front panel. And then I shouldn't say all I have to do is the sleeves because and it's cabling. It's a lot. I've never done any of this stuff before. It is made in 100% acrylic yarn. It is the Craft Smart from Michaels. Again, the yarn is inexpensive, but it is so soft. I was genuinely surprised how soft it was. Especially, it seems like sometimes when the yarn is colored, like it's a off-white, and then it's got like black edging. The black is not as soft as the white off-white. So I'm guessing maybe when they start adding darker colors, that is kind of what makes the yarns feel scruffier. I don't know because I don't know. But yeah, the white off-white yarn in Craft Smart is so soft. So okay, so that is a work in progress. What else? Nothing. Nope. I am currently swatching for the test patterns that I'm working on. And yeah, and now every month, and I got this inspiration comes from Seta, from Seta's Place, where she uses a calendar, and the picture for each month, she uses that as an inspiration for a project of the month. And so I started doing that this year, and that leads me back to my decorations hanging here. So I've actually done 6, but I only have 3 hanging here. Okay, so this one right here with the blue, it's a seascape from Knit Picks. They discontinued it. It's the, oh goodness, what's it called? Straight. It starts with an S. Anyway, after I purchased the yarn, and I purchased quite a bit of it, I found out that it's not good to use for socks because it felts, and I was really sad because that was my main reason for buying all of that. So I've decided that it's going to be used for items other than scarves. Socks. So this is the April calendar inspiration shawl. This one right here is the May. Nope, I get it wrong. This one is the May inspiration shawl, and this one I think I used Lion Brand Mandala. It's either Lion Brand Mandala or a Skinny Cake by Karen. I don't remember. Now this one is huge, and I made the May one before I made the April one because I was disgusted with the April original design that I had chosen to make. I was disgusted with it, so it had to go in timeout, and it was in timeout for a month and a half. Yeah, so I went ahead and made the May one, which is gorgeous and it's huge. And this, my beautiful model Hetty, Hedy Lamarr right there. And it's really long. And then for June, that's this one right here. This one used one skein of Perfect Pear from Michaels. It's sock yarn, so it's not long, but it's an acrylic nylon base, so it stretches. It's got some serious stretch. This has actually been blocked. The other two have not been, because I'm not really sure if blocking acrylic will do any good, but I don't know. I might block it. I haven't even weaved in the ends yet. I was just ready to be done with it. So for July, the inspiration colors are to be determined. I started off using one calendar for inspiration, but one of the months just really bummed me out. So I actually switched, and now I have 4 calendars that I go to for inspiration. And I'm not sure exactly what color scheme I'm going to use for July, but I will definitely let you know when I do. So I guess that is an idea of a project that I have going. Let's see. So nope, the finished objects, works in progress. Nope, that's about it. So anyway, have you been to the Hobby Lobby 75% off yarn clearance sale yet? Again, I'm pretty sure that it's probably almost over everywhere else. My area was really slow about getting it started. They started with the hand-dyed yarn, and then 2 weeks later is when they started marking down the other. And there's still plenty of yarn there. It was like the fluffy, floofy yarn, and I'm just that's just not. No, I'm not into that. So anyway, okay, I think I have talked long enough. So again, I want to thank you if you stuck around this long. I want to thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again very soon. I'm trying to figure out exactly when I'll be recording, probably on Thursdays or Fridays. Yeah. So anyway, if you would pop down in the comment section and say hello, and tell me, tell me what your favorite, what is your favorite Kenny Loggins song? Yeah, that's what we'll do for this week. What's your favorite Kenny Loggins song? Tell me down there. Okay.